Guys, let's talk about your technical interview and how to pass your technical interview. I currently work with a lot of software companies, and these companies are based in Russia mostly. And this is basically for Russians or ex-Soviet Union countries. People are benefiting from this training, and they're passing their interviews now. So let's tell you. There are 4 parts to a technical interview for a new coding job that you will run into. The 4 parts. 1, the introduction. 2, the secondary thing about like education or current projects. 3, difficult questions, unexpected questions, crux questions. And number 4 is the end. Like basically you've got the job. So let's break this down. Number 1, the introduction. What happens in the introduction? Well, this is where they're deciding if they like you, not if you're hired, but are you going to be a good team member? And so you do want to make a good impression during the introduction. It's important. But you're not going to lose the interview during the introduction. You're not. But you could come off as prideful, or you could come off as being not going to mesh with the team well. Prideful may be your nervousness. You're nervous yourself. So get ready for everything before the interview, way before the time the interview starts. Don't be putting things together at the last minute. And then sit down, calm yourself, and try to make sure that you smile within the first 30 seconds. Okay? During the introduction, it's going to be something like, "Hi, this is Paul. Please tell us about who you are and some of your experience." And then they're going to let you talk for a minute or something like that. And then they may ask you a couple questions, but it's all related to what you're saying. This is the introduction, The next thing is going to be the education, which you might have already mentioned in the beginning, but your education, and they're going to ask more deeper questions about your training, your education, and your current projects that you're working on or things you worked on in the past. So they're going to ask you questions like this. And could you lose the interview in this case? No, you can't. As long as your technical skills match up to what they're looking for, you're going to be fine here. Speak clearly. Make sure you put your best foot forward. I'll talk about that in another video. But on to the third part. This is crux questions, unexpected questions, difficult questions. Now, the important thing here is that you learn to understand these questions when they're being asked to you. So, like in other words, oh, this must be a crux question. A crux question, it seems to have more emphasis to them. It's taking place, 1, 2, 3. It's later on in the interview, and there's a little bit more emphasis on the question. You might notice that they seem to actually have that problem that they're asking you about. So they're asking you about a problem that they currently have, and they're asking you to respond to this. During this crux question thing, if you respond wrong, you can lose the interview. This is the problem. On to the number 4. Number 4 is the end, and that's basically like, okay, we're very happy to meet you. We're going to set up a follow-up interview, or already they might say something like, well, we would like to welcome you aboard, or yeah, we're impressed with your qualifications, and let's set up how we can talk further. So they're actually going to give you a job offer or at least another interview. That's number 4. So basically thank them for their time. Say, yeah, okay, I'm very happy. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. This is an important thing to say in dealing with Western companies. Yes, let's make it happen. Let's do it. I'm happy to work. I'm happy to have met you guys, and let's do it. If they've offered you the position, okay? All right, so I'm going to do some more videos on this. We'll talk more about crux questions, difficult questions, where my developers that I work with lose their interviews and how we've corrected this problem. All right, guys, I hope it's helping.